exit.
Yeah.
Before you get to Main Street
Before you get
exit,
to Shea
there's an
Stadium.
exit that says, I think, Rodman Street.
It's right by. I used to work there. You're right by the bakery, Tasty Bakery.
So tell us, what was Edith like
Don't laugh. I worked there.
when you were children? What was it like when you were children?
She was the devil.
It was very, very tough because we were a family of 6, and lived in a, I think, a boardroom, 4-bedroom apartment in Brownsville. And my father was a window cleaner, and he used to clean the windows of the pet stores. So instead of paying him, they used to give him a puppy. And he'd bring home the puppy, and my mother would be so angry because it was a small house, but he brought them home for me and my brother, you know, but after a period of time, the dogs would be gone. But so afterwards, how many years should we skip? Okay, we'll go
But then your mother lived with you for a while in Brooklyn, right?
She did.
Yeah.
I had after the war, I was in the war for 19 months. I went in when I was 17 years old. I got out when I was 19 and a half, and I had the full GI benefits available to me. So I was able to go to college, and I was able to buy a house. So I bought a 2-family house in Canarsie, Brooklyn.
Yeah, I remember that.
2-family house in Brooklyn. And I lived upstairs, and I rented out the bottom downstairs. I was a terrible landlord, because if somebody made noise downstairs, I would go downstairs and tell them, knock it off. So anyhow, I had a couple of families living there, but eventually the last one moved out. So my mother was living with my brother in the worst part of Brooklyn, where there were muggings and so on goings on. And I moved them into the apartment that I had in Canarsie, Brooklyn. And then my mother lived with me until she passed I think in 1982. Yeah. I'm not sure. But then my brother lived with me for a while, and the neighborhood was good. I was a runner, and I used to run the streets and Bell Parkway of Canarsie. I was first a lieutenant, a captain in the police department. The anxiety level was very high, and I used to have to run to lower that anxiety level. So, but eventually the neighborhood started, the Chinese came in as brokers, and they started advertising these places, and before you know it, the neighborhood started turning black. And I couldn't stay there too much longer. So eventually, I think my mother passed, and then I retired from the police department after 33 years, and I bought a place where I am right now in the Upper West Side, Manhattan, in 1995. In 1995, and my brother lasted till in the nursing home in Brookdale to 1907, and he passed in 1907. So that's that.
2007.
No, 97.
First my mother
97. 97. He died a while ago, yeah.
Right. I had a brother that passed in 1974. I was a lieutenant in the police department at that time. He was not even 51 years old. And he was so good. And he had 2 children. He never saw nachas from them. Nachas is happiness. But the boy became...
You're not wearing a hat.
Then the collar's throwing people off.
Right. Nachas is simcha.
Because it's up.
Simcha, happy events. But the wind-up is that my nephew became a very...
Now we can have knockers.
Yeah, exactly.
Now my
Oh, you
nephew
are
is
Jewish.
a very prominent doctor in Florida. And my niece is on TV. She's a psychologist.
Oh,
She's
yeah?
on Nancy Grace's show.
Oh, yeah.
Why
Okay.
don't you guys out there?
Karen.
Karen Stark.
Oh, yeah, we have to take a picture. Come on, take a picture
Okay.
outside.